the man himself, Mr. Jeff Goodwin.
There we go. All right.
What's up, Catch America? It is time for another episode of Catch with Max. This is where I get to take you on an adventure, where I get to go fishing with a guide for 2 days. And this time we are fishing with one of the best guides in the state of California and my good friend, Mr. Jeff Goodwin, which I could not be more excited about. As you can see, beautiful Lake Shasta is in the background, and our plan is to hunt down some browns. And I think we're going to have some fun. So the game plan has been to fish with Jeff the next 2 days on Shasta for some big trophy browns. But the lake has had a ton of debris and it's messing with the fishing. So luckily, when you get a great guide like Jeff, he lets you know that ahead of time. And we may change it up. We've talked about possibly doing a day on Shasta. We may visit the Sacramento River. We'll see. Let's see how Shasta does in the morning. But I am very excited. And I actually have a surprise for you guys, which we'll be talking about tomorrow as well. All right, guys, we made it. We're here at beautiful Lake Shasta with the man himself, Mr. Jeff Goodwin. We're super excited. We've already got some lines in the water, and the reason we wanted to come up here, not only just to fish with Jeff, but we're actually now introducing Brad's Killer Fishing to our lineup, and we've got a couple in the water. Jeff, you want to talk about what we're running here?
You know, as far as the Brads go, it's no secret that I like to use the Kokanee Cut Plugs and the mini cut plugs on Shasta Lake for our big brown trout. They're also fantastic for our rainbow trout and our king salmon. I like to stuff them with baits and tuna and oil, and find them to be super effective out here. But we also, you know, like to use our Optimizer series spoons, both the juniors and the original Optimizers. We have one out there specifically right now that's just year in year out, just been a really good issue for us. So we'll see if we can get something going here.
Let's see what we can do.
Hey guys, we're getting ready to deploy these divers, and you know, a lot of people have seen videos before me putting these things together, but this is the Brad's Kokanee Cut Plug, and we like to stuff these with tuna. You can put other scents in there too if you want, but you know, just plain old tuna and oil works just great. This is how I like to rig them up. We got a 4B chain, we got a BMC Siwash hook. It's an open eye hook, so you get to close that onto that bead chain. It's a Brad's mini chain, and then I just put a bead to stop in the hook garage, and that's how it's set up. So we attach these to our divers, our Chinook divers, and you know, over the years, I've just really come to love these things out here on Shasta Lake. A couple reasons. One is the versatility, and number two, it's the weight. It matches our gear perfectly out here, and it really helps us be able to deploy this stuff without it being too much of a load on the rods, or being too small and not effective. It's a perfect match. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to drop this baby in the water. Go in on the other side. You know, people ask, well, which side do I put them in on? Well, I like to match the weight closest to the motor, right? You'll see on the other side. So this one, you know, we're standing on the wrong side, but I want this one to go out on the port side of the motor. But let it out. I'm just going to let it out very slowly. Then I'm going to use pressure to make sure it dives. We're going to start at about 20 feet of line out today. Make sure if you get a big fish on, he can take line if he needs to. So I put the clicker on. That gives me a heads up if we get ripped here, and it also gives me the ability to fight a fish without being locked down super tight, which can tear you know, mouths on fish and helps them come off. So.
Quick update here. We are still trolling around. We've got a couple side planers out. We've got a couple downriggers out. We're running Optimizers and we're running the Brad's KCPs. looking around for some big, beautiful brown trout. We've seen them here. We're waiting on the bite. Jeff, you're changing some stuff up, I see.
Yeah, you know what? We had some. Sometimes you go big, sometimes you go small. So we tried some big flasher pattern that I've been running here lately, and just hasn't gotten any love yet. Probably because they haven't started biting yet. But we're gonna run the old standby gold,
The 6-inch gold Dodger.
Dodger, and then another cut plug.
That is a beauty.
A little bit of gold and red. It's always a good brown trout color. So we'll put that down there too, and see what kind of action we get when they do start to bite.
All right.
It's 10 o'clock, so 10:21. They usually start biting in that 10 o'clock window, and we usually give them till about 1 for a real strong bite. And if I could look back on all the years that I've been fishing out here for browns, 10-1 is always the best bite with. In that turn, you picked up something in that turn. Moving to the left. A little bit of tug to it. I'm gonna tighten this just a little bit. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. It's probably gonna be a big bass, but we'll see. Too soon to tell. But if it is a bass, it's a bigger bass.
Yeah. It's got some weight to it.
Yeah.
Tell me where you want it, buddy.
Just right there. He'll come straight in the back. Oh, yeah.
Bass on.
Mm-hmm.
Lynn is hooked up. Another bite on here.
Yep, same place, same lure.
Orange seems to be the color today.
Keep reeling, Lynn.
There you go. What is?
Actual silverfish.
Silverfish.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see it.
Woohoo!
Go. Beautiful rainbow.
All right.
Now these divers, when you get the divers to the back of the boat, you have to reel all the way to the diver. And then when he's ready, when I say lift, I'm saying bring the fish in, okay? Well, lift up a little bit.
There we go. Yeah, buddy. That's a beauty.
Shasta brown.
Shasta brown.
That aren't so brown.
That are not so brown. You're right.
And guess what we got them on? We got them on KCP. Beautiful. Greenback, silver sides.
All right, guys, so a little bit of an update. We got 1 bass on the boat, 1 rainbow, and 1 nice brown. And that's what we're after. We're here to fish browns. March is kind of the time. And Jeff, why is that? Why is March brown season at Shasta?
Well, the reason I like to target browns on Shasta in March is because the browns spawn in the fall. They come back to the lake late winter, early spring. to spend the summer feeding on shad and getting fat for the next round again following fall. So not only do we have abundance of browns in these upper sections of the arms from which they'd spawned, we also have cold water, and what that does is that keeps a lot of our fish up higher in the water column. So access is better in March than it is in August, right? Because browns are structure oriented in a lot of ways. If you're trying to reach browns on structure down at, say, 80 or 100 feet, that's a very difficult task to accomplish in Shasta Lake because of the bottom terrain. It's so steep, the depths change so abruptly. So that's what makes springtime on Shasta Lake the best time to target our big trophy browns.
Jeff, so I noticed you've got the optimizer here, the junior optimizer, but there's no split ring on the front. So why do you not run it with a split ring?
Well, I personally think that having the split ring on there, it may change the flow of water over the back of the spoon. And if you look at the spoon, the shape of the spoon, this is your diving edge, right? So this is what dives down first. And so to keep these spoons underwater, right, you want to make sure that this leading edge is actually doing its job. And it's taking the spoon down so it can wobble, which is what the back part of this spoon does, right? So it's just my thought maybe, and I could be wrong, but I just take the split ring off the front and go, because I use the dual lock snap, and the dual lock is really thin. It's not going to impede the action of the lure at all. And you're still going to get that free movement with that dual lock. So one less thing to have on there, one less thing to stretch out, you know, on a really big fish, or one less thing to change the action on the lure. So that's just my 2 cents, and that's why I take them off.
So one of the obstacles we've been facing here today is the debris in the water. When the water level rises, everything from the shore comes into the water, and that affects this type of fishing, especially with side planers.
When we're using side planers, we're creating a much wider trolling pattern. And so it makes it really hard when you're trying to look for debris throughout a 100-foot stretch of water, and be accountable for everything. Because the side planers are pretty good with the pine needles and stuff, because the snap weights will stop the pine needles. But when we're running over the tops of tree branches and tree trunks and piles of debris, it gets to be really, really cumbersome, especially for our side planers, but also for our divers. So sometimes we really have to concentrate on fishing downriggers in that scenario, and that's one of the dynamics to fishing Shasta Lake on a rise during the springtime. And sometimes you can't even fish some of the areas that you want to. There's just too much stuff. So fortunately for us today, we are in an area that we like to fish. It's fishable, and we're not dealing with too much debris. But a couple days ago, it was absolutely unfishable. I couldn't even fish in here. I had 2 minutes in the water and all my gear was fouled. So that's something to think about when you come out on Shasta Lake. Make sure you're fishing in areas where there's not a lot of debris, where you're going to be having a heck of a time.
All right, Lynn. That thing's right there too. Nice rainbow.
Which one? This one?
All right, Lindsay is on. Lift the rod. There we go. Oh my gosh.
On our favorite lure of the day.
That Brad's has been killing it today. Look at that, guys. Just a beauty. Nice brown here.
It's good. This one still has some red spots on it. You don't see that a lot.
Yeah, these browns look different, Jeff.
They're different. You know, they're big water browns. From what I understand, you know, I mean, a lot of like the Great Lakes browns, because of that big volume of water, they tend to be more of a, you know, kind of take on those ocean colors, silver sides, you know, green backs. Whereas your smaller lakes and stuff, a lot of those fish, you know, tend to keep those brown and gold and yellow kind of colors, like out of Almanor. But yeah, definitely a different look to these browns, and it's because of the vast, you know, amount of water that we have here.
Beautiful fish. All right, guys, so super fun day out on Shasta. Couple browns, couple rainbows, couple bass, a little bit of everything. Overall, I would say the Brads was definitely the lure of the day. That KCP did some work today. It was super fun to actually get to put them in the water and use them. But tomorrow we're going to change it up. I think we're going to hit the Sacramento River. Good morning, guys. We're on day 2 with fishing with Mr. Jeff Goodwin, and we've changed everything. We're in literally a whole new boat, a whole new area. We're on the Sacramento River and trying a different technique out as well. Jeff?
Yeah, a few different techniques. You know, we're not going to be doing the traditional lake trolling. We're going to fish it like a river, you know, so we're going to be drifting some beads. We're going to be probably working some marabou jigs, and we might be back trolling some plugs. Even trolling plugs if we have, you know, slow moving water. So might even throw some of those new trout tricks minnows on some jigs and see what we can drum up from there. But we're going to be targeting rainbows. There's browns in here as well. So this is a great section of the river. There are trophy fish in here. It is under general fishing regulations, where most of the Sacramento River is catch and release for wild trout. This section of the river is you can retain 5 trout per person. So it's something that, you know, for those people who like to keep their catch, can come up here sometimes and try their luck that way. Yeah, fish on.
Fish on, man. There we go.
Oh, yeah. Just slow down your reeling. We don't want to get him in right away. Now, you're not a bass fisherman, so lift your rod tip up.
Look at that. Woo. Fighting, Lynn. Fighting.
Yeah, he's just a nice fish. Okay, now the wind's gonna blow us back into the rock, so. All right. Get tight on him, get tight on him. Put the rod in the water. Tighten the drag a little bit for you. Okay. Remember, rod tip up.
Oh my gosh!
Look at the color.
Holy moly!
That is an absolute hog.
Wow! Wow! Wow!
Beauty.
On the marabou jig. Lift that fish up there, Jeff.
Yeah. All right. Here we go.
Look at that big, beautiful fish right there.
Is that pristine or what?
Oh, God.
Very, very good. It's a wild rainbow. This is a fish that's born in the system here.
All right, guys, just a little update here this morning. We are out here casting. Lindsay got that first big, beautiful fish, and we're looking for more. So right now the water is really calm. We want a little bit of chop to happen here, so we're kind of waiting on that. But we're throwing a little bit of everything. I've got a cut down XL minnow, and then we've got spinners, and I think we've got some flies still in the water as well. Some of those marabou flies that Lindsay had just caught that fish on. So we're gonna keep going and we'll check back in soon. All right, guys, so we're out here just casting. We don't have a lot of current right now, next to none really.
Yeah, just kind of got to mix it up, you know, until we get some moving water. These jigs work, spinners work, but there's something about the moving water in this particular section that gets the bite going. You know, when they start biting or the water starts moving, for whatever reason, they start chewing. It's always tougher when the water's, you know, in a stagnant mode. And you know, the water's 48 degrees. It's pretty cold. We just keep plugging away.
All right, guys, we are making a move, a big move, quite literally. I mean, we are legitimately taking the boat out of the water here, and we're gonna move to a whole different spot in the river that Jeff's had some good luck later on in the day. This was a really good early morning spot typically, but with that water not moving, there's no luck. So we got that one big beautiful fish, and that was perfectly fine for me. That was an amazing catch. So on to the next spot. All right, guys, as you can see, we made it to our new location.
All right, guys, full disclosure. We hit the next spot and the action was nonstop, but it was all out of season salmon. As much as we want to show you the footage, we're all about ethical angling here at Catch America, and since we can't target them and we want to protect this fishery, we're skipping ahead to our final stop of the day. We swung by Phil's Propeller to restock their shelves. We love seeing the support that you guys give these local shops.
All right, guys, we are calling it a day. We had an absolute blast. These last 2 days have been amazing. The experience Jeff Goodwin has given us has been unparalleled to anything we've got to experience. Multiple bodies of water, multiple boats, multiple locations. You just don't get trips like this every day, and that is why you book this guy right here. Call Janie, book yourself a trip. Thanks, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Until next time. We're back at the Airbnb. It's been a couple hours now, but we cannot stop talking about this trip. Everything about it. I mean, starting off, just Shasta's gorgeous. There is just nature everywhere. I mean, the lake itself is beautiful. Probably the most beautiful lake I've ever been on in my life. It's one of those things that you just can't stop looking around you. This view from our backyard has been insane, to say the least, too. But let's talk about the fishing. Jeff, as a guide, is so knowledgeable. He knows these fish. He knows this fishery, these fisheries around us. If you want to book a trip, don't think twice. Call Jeff Goodwin. We had the time of our life. It's just been amazing, to say the least. So thank you, Jeff Goodwin, and thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next month.